Welcome to the COE Professional Learning video series. These are designed to share various COE topics and to assist you in making sure that your campus is staying in compliance with COE. Today's topic is going to be what to expect on your first team visit. It's perfect for new team members, and it's also a great refresher for those of you who are about to go on a visit. Whatever your reason for being here, we are glad that you're joining us today. 20 plus years is how long I have been working with COE. That's amazing to me. I love team visits. It's the best professional development you will ever receive. COE has about 100 to 125 visits a year. That's a lot. So they depend on volunteers like yourself to receive this training and be able to go out and serve as team members. So very important. You may serve on an initial accreditation visit. You may serve on a candidacy visit, a focus visit, a substantive change visit, and a reaffirmation visit. These visits may last anywhere from 2 to 4 days, but please make sure you listen to what COE shares with you and tells you about each visit, because there may be some specific check sheets and things you have to use. So as we talk about what we're going to be doing on a team visit, sometimes before training, you may be a little nervous. So the next slide is going to show you what you might look like when you get that email and that first call. But I'm here to tell you, don't panic. It will be a great experience for you if you do a couple of things first. You will receive a phone call or an email from the compliance or evaluation department at COE. They will be asking you if you can serve on the team. They'll, of course, give you the dates, the name of the institution. The first thing you should do is to check your dates and make sure you're available. Check that personal calendar, check that professional calendar, and make sure that you're able to attend the full conference. While you're gone, you need to be on for the team visit. If you can do that, you'll complete the conflict of interest form, return that to COE as well. So after that, you will wait and you will see what the next thing happens. You'll generally get an email from COE that will tell you who's on your team, the team leader, and then later you'll receive an email from the team leader that will explain to you some of the different things that you'll be doing and when to make your travel arrangements. But for this video, we're going to again go over responsibilities of serving as a team member, learn what to do before, during, and after the visit, and also where to find some resources to help you be prepared. So let's get started. After this training, we hope that you'll be able to be more confident and able to serve. This training, plus again what you received at the conference, will aid in you having more confidence, more information, and make you a more valuable team member. 3 things will remain the same no matter what type visit you're going on. And those 3 things are: number 1, the purpose of a team visit is to make sure that the institution is in compliance with COE. Clean and simple. And so that's the main thing to always keep in mind when you're going on a team visit. Also, confidentiality is critical on a team visit. You know the old saying, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas? It's kind of the same way with a team visit. Be sure that the documents that you review stay at the school. If you see something you may want to copy or a great idea you want to take back to your institution, be sure to talk with your team leader before you do anything. Also, the conversations you have with your team members are confidential. Please don't go out and start saying what you saw, what you found, all of those sorts of things regarding the institution. You wouldn't want a school to do that to you, so please don't do it to another institution. And the third thing that is common for all visits is simply that accreditation is always granted by the commission, not the team. Your team report, though, is critical in helping the commissioners make their decision. So take this job seriously and give it 100%. So next, I'm going to share with you some questions I always receive. Some of my favorite questions in the 20 years of doing this is, number 1, who will be on my team? Well, number 1, look in the mirror, because the person on the team will be just like you. They will be from an accredited COE institution. It may be a federal, apprenticeship, private, public, maybe a Job Corps, will be all of those. And it may be from anywhere in the United States or the territories. But I promise you, you will love your teammates and you'll spend a lot of time with them and you'll make some good friendships. The other thing that will vary will be the number of teams. If you're going on a small team visit, like a focus visit, there'll be just two members. If you're going on a large reaffirmation visit with a lot of programs, a lot of off-campus sites, it could be as many as 10 to 12 members. But again, you will enjoy working with each other and meeting new friends and finding new resources you'll be able to contact as things come up on your own institution later on. My favorite question is this a vacation? Somebody calls COE, put me on a team visit, I need to get away. That's not what's going to happen. COE will send you to the team visit, but it's not a vacation. You may go to some wonderful spots that you go back for eventually as a vacation, but it is work. It is work to make sure that the institution is in compliance with COE, but also to make sure that the institution is the best that it can be. And your job is to help them do that. And you need to be concentrating while you're there on those purposes. And you'll also want to make sure that you're present mentally and physically there for that team. They've worked really hard getting it ready. So please be ready and give it your full attention because it's serious work. Where can I find resources? We're going to talk about that in just a second and give you some websites to go to. What is the role of the team leader and the assistant team leader? The team leader is the number one liaison between COE and the team, as well as the school and COE. So that's the person you go to if you have any questions whatsoever. Even before you go on the visit, if something comes up and you have a question, notify the team leader. They will also go on a team visit called the preliminary visit, and that's to make sure that the institution is ready for the team to come. Once they go, they do the preliminary, they will notify you to make any travel arrangements that you need to, and you'll go from there. But questions, comments, concerns, check with your team leader. They're there to help you. The assistant team leader is there to mainly work on Standard 2, as well as to be their support for the team leader and also the team members. So they'll be there working on Standard 2. They'll help to write the team report, and they're there as a resource. So be sure to work with them as well. And again, the last question I get over and over is, what's the purpose of this visit? Again, it's to make sure the school is in compliance. You play a very important role as being the eyes and ears of the commission. This is work, it's serious, but I think you'll enjoy it and love every minute of it. So what do you do while you're waiting on the call and ready to go? The next thing you need to do is to actually research, do a little homework. I told you it's work. You need to have a good working knowledge of the COE resources. You can find those at the addresses that are on the screen. You'll find an accreditation manual and check sheets. Those are critical to review. Now be sure to look, those are specific to types of institutions. So make sure that if you're going to a federal school, you're going to a public school, you're using the right check sheets along with the right manuals. You'll also want to review the self-study manual. You'll want to review the policies. Look at those manuals. They change yearly. And one thing I think is important is to read those definitions. The check sheets are critical to understand as you go through. So make sure you read those. If you're going on a visit in 2025, you'll be using 2024 check sheets. If you're going in 2024, I know you know it's going to be 2023 check sheets, but make sure that you take a look at those and are familiar with them, and I'll explain that a little bit later. You'll also want to review all kinds of campus materials. Google the school. You know you can find anything on Google. You'll be able to look at the school, see their program, just learn a lot about what their website looks like, what their catalog looks like. So enjoy doing that. It will make you feel a little more at ease. And also, 20 days before the visit, you'll receive the school self-study. Read that. Now, not just your parts, not the parts that you're responsible for, but read over the entire self-study, because it's important. If you're on the visit, you may be asked to help another team member, and you need to be familiar with their sections as well. But also, sometimes a team member has to drop off at the last minute, and you're giving additional responsibilities. So again, be prepared. I will tell you that the two number one findings of noncompliance, which means the school is not in compliance with COE, one has to do with advisory boards and one has to do with the school plans. Be sure that you read that information carefully in the handbooks as well as on the check sheet so you're well prepared. Trust me, it will make your visit go so much better. So let's get started. You've got your bags packed and it's day one. So travel to the institution. That's the day that you're going to go. You're going to have everything you need with you. Always pack an extra thumb drive just in case there's something that you need to work on, and you'll have that. I encourage you to have the phone numbers of your team leader and school close by, because air traffic sometimes can be a little iffy, and so you'll want to be able to contact them if there are any delays. Your team leader will host a meeting that afternoon, typically at the hotel. They will go over your assignments again. Typically, you will be assigned 1 to 2 standards and then 3 to 4 programs. Again, a lot of this depends on the type of visit you're going to, as well as how large the school is. But you'll learn a little bit more about the school, and you'll be able to meet your team members, and that's always good. Then there'll typically be a meet and greet. It may be something elaborate. It may be a picnic. It may be box lunches. Who knows? But whatever it is, it will be a time for you to meet faculty, staff, and students and community. So be sure to be there, be friendly, introduce yourself, and just get ready to have a good time. And a good night's sleep, because you're going to be working hard the next day. On the next day, you're going to be going to the campus. The first thing that typically happens on a reaffirmation visit is a tour of the institution. You're going to begin working on your program reviews, which is standard 2. You'll be marking check sheets either electronically or on paper, and you'll be seeing if the school's documentation that they have provided meets the criteria. Now, I'll always warn people, especially new team members, if a school does something that is not exactly how you do it on your campus, that doesn't mean it's wrong. So be sure to make sure that it meets the criteria. And if you have any questions, check with your team leader. So we want to do that. Then I encourage you to visit the program areas. Just like you're the eyes and ears of the commission while you're there, you're also the eyes and ears of your other teammates, because typically they'll not be visiting the same areas you're visiting. So be sure that you're able to talk and share at your meeting that afternoon. So visit the program areas, talk to students, look at their equipment, look at the curriculum, look at their safety. Just enjoy visiting and sharing while you're visiting those program areas. Also, there will be a team meeting with the team leader, and they'll just want to know kind of a recap of what you've learned. So be sure to be able to tell them the good, the bad, and the ugly as you go through. Next, on day 3, you're going to be finishing up your programs. You're going to make sure everything's taken care of, and you're going to give those to your assistant team leader, and you'll start on your standards. So that's why I told you to read those check sheets. That's why I told you to check the handbook. The standards are very, very important. There are many multi-criteria in here. You need to make sure that they meet every single one of those to get a yes. So you'll want to make sure you've studied those. You'll also want to make sure that some of the standards, such as standard 3, it looks like a real easy standard because it's about the CPL, the completion, placement, and licensure, but it's a very detailed standard to have. I love it though. I love to get standard 3 because you're going to be able to call graduates and employers and talk with them about their experience at the institution. But it is a time-consuming standard. So don't just look at it and say, oh, I can get this done in 10 minutes, because you won't. So make sure that do your research. Also on standard 7, you're going to be reviewing 25 financial aid files. 25. Make sure you know you're supposed to be looking at in those files, and you're going to do that by the research, by knowing what COE expects in those files. Also, on standard 10, you're going to be looking at 25 student files. So what does COE says need to be in a student file? Again, do your research so you know. The more you're prepared, the easier this will go, I promise you. You'll also, chances are, begin to evaluate the actual team, the visit, and you will begin to write the team report. And those will be your findings, those will be your comments. And so that will usually take place on day 3. So on day 4, it's almost time to go home, but you will have one final team meeting where you will discuss everything in depth. Your team leader will go over everything with you. You will agree on the team report. Again, it is a team report. It is not an individual report. I encourage you to shred all the notes and documents. Leave all campus documents that are supposed to be there, especially if you did standard 3, you would leave the completion, placement, and licensure documents there. You're going to take everything else with you, though, or destroy it. You're going to give the team report. The team report may be anywhere from 10 minutes to 15 minutes, but it will simply be a recap of what the team found. Again, the team does not grant accreditation. That is done by the commission. So you will just give your report. It is non-debatable, and you will just share your information. Typically, the team leader will start the process, and then each person on the team will report on their standards, and the assistant team leader will report on all of the programs. And then you'll travel home, hopefully with a lot of new friends, good ideas, and a good feeling and willingness to serve again soon with COE. Congratulations, you've completed your first team visit. There's still work to do. Once you get home, you want to complete and submit your travel claim. You will have received that from the COE office when they sent you your team roster. But make sure you fill that out front and back completely to not leave any blanks. After you do that, you'll want to get all of your receipts together and scan those, put that with the travel claim, make it one document, and save it as a PDF, because you'll be submitting that PDF document to travel@council.org within 14 days of your visit. The reimbursement usually takes about 30 days, so please don't delay in doing that. It's important. Also, when you're in your research and you're looking at the manuals, they'll discuss different things that you can and cannot do on a COE visit that will make for legitimate expenses that you'll be reimbursed for. So be sure to look at those as well. When I first started to do this seminar, I checked with some of the favorite people I've worked with and asked them what advice would they have for new team members. So this is what they came up with: to remember to be kind and professional and not punitive. This is an opportunity for you to help another institution improve and verify they're in compliance with COE. So remember that. It's not Columbo. It's not, I got you. It's not you're trying to dig to find what's wrong. That's not it at all. It is helping a peer institution be better. Number 2, understand the importance. We talked about that. Realize that if there are questions with the team report, the commission will contact the team leader, who may have to contact you. So be sure that you make sound judgments and you know why you did what you did. Number 3, listen and learn from experienced team members. I cannot tell you how much I learn every single time I go on a team visit. Everyone teaches someone something. Don't hesitate to ask questions. Understand your roles, as we've talked about. Prepare, and work diligently while you're there. Submit those expenses accurately and correctly the first time and in a timely manner. And make sure that you use the documents and items that we've talked about as resources. Very important to do that. On the last slide, I'm just going to summarize it by saying the best prepared team members make great team members, and they make people that you want to serve with. Thank you for sharing part of your day with us, and I hope you've learned something, and I hope I serve on a team with you soon. Thank you.